What's up, y'all? Yeah, I'm here one time with the fro. Y'all already know. But, I realized I was going through my videos and everything, and I came across this video that I made in like 12 years ago. And I was like, and I'll come back after everything and let you know how it worked. What happened was. And so here we are, like 3 months later. And just so y'all know, I wasn't in that storm for this long. I actually got out of it a long time ago. And of course, I forgot to come on here and give a little testy, which shame on me, right? So anyways, that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm just going to be telling you guys about how I got through that, what happened in that moment, what I learned in that moment, how you guys can learn from this, and so on and so forth. Okay, so just a quick recap. Basically, I was going through a big financial storm. Like, your girl was struggling. But, it was like I still have to pay rent. I still have to pay bills, blah, 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 blah. How is that going to work? I still have to go to work. I can't go to work with a busted car. With no car, I can't go to a job. And I'll put the link to that video so that y'all could, like, if y'all didn't see the video, then y'all could watch it and see what all was happening. But point is, it was just all these different issues that was literally looking like, how am I going to get through this? There is no way. Well, first, y'all, let me tell y'all how I was just feeling while it happened. Okay, so first of all, a lot of people have gotten into serious accidents when their control arm decided to pop, lock, and drop out of their car. And I did not. When it happened, I didn't even know it was the control arm that was tweaking. I just knew my car, like my wheel was straight. And the next thing you know, my wheel was like, hey. And I was like, all right, I guess this is my new straight then, struggling. And it wasn't until I pulled up where I needed to be, which was outside this like kind of restaurant thing in a plaza, that it just dropped. And I was like, ooh, like, you just heard a boom. And of course, my reaction was, oh well, and I was just going to keep driving. But then I heard a loud, when I was driving, I was like, I guess it's important. Let's see what it is. So, yeah. But it happened in such a safe way. It didn't even affect me, right? And even in that moment, even though it was an extreme moment, I could tell God was with me in there. Like, I definitely had a lot of favor in that moment because, one, I met, like, a security guard for the plaza, and she gave me permission to keep my car there overnight, and I was like, thank you. I called my auntie, and she actually answered. That's saying a lot, guys. And she was able to pick me up because it was like 8 something at night, so it was late, but she was able to pick me up and take me home, so I wasn't stranded. I called my mom. They got AAA. She was like, yeah, wherever you need your car towed, just let me know. So it was like, even though it was a big situation, little things were putting themselves together, which of course the big thing ain't come together, which is the fact of how we gonna get this fixed. Like, how my car gonna work. But little things were coming together, and in that moment, I had a peace, right? When something crazy happens and for some reason you are not worried, you just have this peace. You just like, it's cool. It's cool, dude. Like, I'm not talking about like if you want drugs. I just mean like, period. That's how I was, okay? And I could tell that was the peace of God. God bringing me peace, letting me know, yeah, I know it look crazy right now, but I promise you it's going to be okay. So I had to just rely on that. Even though nothing else said this is going to be okay, I'm still like, this is a lot of work that I need to get done, and right now I don't have the money to get that done, and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, at that point, I only thought it was my control arm that needed fixing, and then later, that's when I found out that it was even worse than before. It was the subframe, and now I'm really just like, it's gonna be okay, huh? Okay, right? But even then, I still had this peace, and it was weird, and things kept working out for me. Like, I had people, my little sister's parents, they were able to take me to and from work, and I was able to stay with them. Like, it was just such a blessing how everything was working out, even when I did not have a car. All right. And then at the end, y'all, can I just get a y'all? Like, y'all, at the end, first of all, I was able to go to work still. I was not stranded when it broke down. I was not in any pain. Nothing bad physically happened to me. I was in perfect shape and condition. And at the end of the day, after about a week maybe, I was able to get my car fixed. What was going to be $800 or $1,000 turned into $580, roughly $600. And that turned into free. Okay, I was able to get my car fixed without pulling out $1 out of my pocket, except for, you know, the Uber that I needed to get there, right? But like, y'all, what? Like, it literally made no sense. And it was amazing to me. It was so beautiful to me because it reassured me that God can do things that doesn't make sense, right? To me, there was no absolute way. There is no way I'm going to be able to still go to work. There's no way I'm still going to be able to make money. There's no way I'm going to be able to get my car fixed. Like, you know, I was even thinking of just maybe I could drop a lease, or maybe I could get a lease on a new car. I don't know. But there was no way that stuff was going to work out. And somehow God put things all together where I didn't even do anything myself. You know, I didn't go out and ask, hey guys, can you pay for my car? I ain't do that. I ain't do that at all. And it just worked out like oh my goodness. It just worked out where my car was able to get fixed free of charge. Somebody was so gracious and so kind to reach out to me. First of all, I don't even know how they found out about my car because I didn't even tell them. They reached out to me and told me that they would take care of it. No strings, no nothing, just from the grace of God, just, you know. And I'm just like, wow. So that is really encouraging to me. I hope that is encouraging to you as well, because one, it shows that God can do things that we cannot, right? It's do what you can and he will do what you can't, right? And that's, I mean, at that point, all I could do was call and ask, like, hey, auntie, can you pick me up? Can you pick me up? Hey, mom, my car just started tweaking on me. Yeah, my car started coughing. Oh, like, you know, that's all I could do. I couldn't do anything else. I could continue going to work if, like, I could get a ride and everything, but that's all I could do. And God was able to take care of the rest in a way that seemed absolutely impossible. Okay, so that is one thing that I want you guys to realize, that no matter how incapable you seem to get something done, that's what God is for. Like, God takes care of the stuff that we cannot take care of, which is much more than we realize, right? God can do what we can't, and he does what we can't all the time. So stay encouraged, stay hopeful through whatever you're going through, okay? Because God got you. All right. And secondly, if y'all know that God got you, then I want y'all to keep in this feeling of expectation, right? Now, it may not be the way that you expect it to happen. Like, I did not expect it to go like this. I didn't expect to be without a car for a week. You know, I didn't know how it was going to work out. I just knew God gave me a peace and was like, you good. And I was looking at, like, I'm like, does that mean I could still drive? No, you can't still drive. Does that mean I'm going to get my car fixed tomorrow? No, you're not going to get your car fixed tomorrow. Does that mean it's not really the control arm? It's just like, you know, a jokey joke and I'm going to be able to get it fixed for like $20? Nah, it's going to be pretty expensive, actually. It's going to be much bigger than you thought it was. But you're going to be cool. Like, that's what God does. That's the information that God tells you. And you be looking like, okay, but 1 + 2 = 3 last time I checked. And right now, what you trying to make me believe is 1 + 2 = like $94 that I don't have. And, you know, but that's how it works. And I always like when I hear pastors say this, I like to say this: God's math is not our math. That's why he could turn 1 + 3 into whatever you need, right? And he could take your not enough and make it into more than enough. So while you're going through your situation, while you're going through your storm, look through and look at what you can get out of this, right? Because God never wastes a battle. God never wastes a bad situation. So if you are going through something that is difficult, then see what you can get out of this. Because whenever you find God in those moments, then you could turn any situation into a good and beautiful situation. Even if it doesn't feel like it, you can at least not leave out of that situation empty-handed. Like I said before in one of our other videos, you can always come out bigger and better. Like, we ain't finna go through stuff to come out worse than before. You feel me? So make sure you're keeping that good attitude. That was something that I was able to do, and frankly, I was able to do it, so I won't say easily, but it was much easier than before because I've been through stuff like this before, you know. So don't be so hard on yourself if you're going through a situation and you're like, why am I not still happy? You know, it takes time and it takes experience, right? I've been through moments like this before where I was going through a financial storm and I was like, there is literally no way I'm going to be able to cover this. Like, what is happening? And God has provided for me then repeatedly, time after time after time. So that's why this time when I could actually feel God say, you going to be cool. Now that I understand that God always provides and God says what he means, I was able to grab onto that and keep looking at what can I get out of this? How can I make the most out of this time? And just continue praising him, continue being happy, continue living my days to the fullest, you know, carless and all. So that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. And like I said, as you continue to go through these and see how good God is and see that God says what he means and all of that good stuff, then it will be easier for you. And another thing that helped me feel better in this moment is that I knew God was with me, right? I believed that at this time I was being obedient, right? I was doing DoorDash for a small amount of time, and that's when my car broke down when I was doing DoorDash. But I could see God in it. Like, I could see how God set up that whole situation, right? So I could see that God was in this, and I believed I was being obedient. I didn't feel like I was going out doing something that was going against God, and then this led to this, and this because of my own mistakes, right? It felt like I was being obedient, and this happened in result of me being obedient. Just to tell you guys, not every time that you are being obedient with God does it lead to flowers and roses immediately. Okay, now God knows what he's doing. He knows what your future holds, and he knows how this is going to benefit you in the long run, but it's not always going to look preferable to you. And that was one of those moments, but I could understand God, and I could understand how raw he was at this point, where I knew, okay, if I was obeying God and this happened, that means God is in this, God is in control of this, and I'm perfectly fine. I'm cool. So whatever he trying to do in this moment, go ahead. You feel me? And it was that faith that helped me to get through this situation and continue being happy, continue being cool, and trusting God. All right. So the last thing I want to tell you guys, because y'all may have noticed while I was talking that, you know, my God, my faith in God, all of that stuff didn't keep my car from breaking down. Right? One, there's sometimes that we take things, I know I do, way too spiritually, where it's like you put your hand in the fire and then you be like, oh, I burned my hand, God, you don't love me. And it's like, yeah, no, it's not that. It's the fact that you put your hand in the fire, and fire is hot, and you know, that's what happens when you put your hand in the fire. You feel me? So let's not take everything too spiritual, guys, please. No. But what I do want you to realize as well is that God loves us, right? God loves us. God knows our beginning, our middle, and our end. And God has a big purpose for each and every one of us. He has a big reason why he put you on this earth. He loves you so dearly, and he got you, right? Even in the Bible, it says, you know, he will protect us, he will help us, he will guide us. But guys, just because it says that doesn't exactly mean he's going to keep everything that you consider bad from happening in your life. Okay? It doesn't mean that your life is going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be easy. That's not quite what he meant. And I wanted to introduce this because we're going to begin into a series that is called That's Not Quite What He Meant. Okay? No, he did not. Where we just go into those things that we misinterpret from the Bible a lot of times. And I feel like that is definitely one of them. We feel like once we walk with God, that means everything is going to go the way we want it to. That means nothing bad is going to happen to us. That means whenever we call on the Lord, he will rescue us from the situation and make it exactly how we want it to be. And unfortunately, that is not the case. Unfortunately, some bad things still happen to us. Terrible things still happen to us. And a thing that I love to quote that I hear pastors say all the time is that God doesn't always rescue you from the fire, but he goes with you through it. Okay? And that is the thing that I want us to understand, is that just because I had faith, just because I praise God, just because I tithe, whatever, you know, that doesn't mean things that are inconvenient are going to happen to me. That doesn't mean my car is just going to be perfectly fine. My car still broke. I still had to go a week without a car, but he was still with me through that process. He was still with me from beginning to end. I could still feel his presence. I could still have joy, still have peace. And more importantly, I was able to learn from that, right? If nothing bad ever happened to my car, and I'm just using my car because that's what recently happened, but this is the case for everything, guys. If nothing bad ever happened to my car, if my car never broke down and I never felt like I was in an impossible situation where I could not fix it, then I would not be able to see how God provides when I can't. I would not be able to see how God takes care of all of my needs and works miracles and just, you know, and how he is there for me and doesn't leave me nor forsake me. I would not be able to see that because I'd just be cool all the time. And sometimes that is the reason why some things happen, so that you can see that he is still there, so that you can see that he can provide, that he does still do miracles, that he can heal you from the inside out, that he loves you more than anyone could ever even imagine. Okay, so there y'all go. There's some encouraging words for you guys. I want to go like deep into this, but I'm gonna save that for another video. And yeah, I'll see y'all.